I get the feeling that today's job is either going to be incredibly simple or perhaps a monumental pain in the neck. So let's find out which. Welcome to Cast by TV. Right, today we're in the Spares or Repair 2011 Vauxhall Corsa D that I bought recently for a very small amount of money. Now, if we have a look down here at the dashboard, we can see that at some point in this car's life, somebody installed this aftermarket Pioneer stereo system, and it's fine, it does work, but for reasons I won't bore you with, I would much rather have the original stereo system that I found floating around in the boot. So, let's reinstall it. So let's start now by removing the old stereo. And I'm going to take off the fascia plate first, which is easy enough. There we go. And now we should, with a bit of luck, be able to pry out this little compartment here. He says, with some optimism. It's coming. In fact, the whole stereo is coming forward at the same time, but that's okay. Right, well that was simple, and we can now get to the wires behind. Have a look at this massive wiring I just dragged out the dashboard. Look, there's loads of it. All this just for an aftermarket stereo. It does look quite complicated, doesn't it? I'm glad I'm not an electrician. Anyway, all we need to do now is remove these wires from the back of the unit. So we've got this big one here that provides power and various other things. There we go, and then the aerial, which is rather stiff, but there we go, that is free. Right, well I've been having a look around, and most of this wiring is literally an aftermarket extension to the car's original loom, which means we don't need it to reinstall the original stereo. So I'm going to take out what I can. Now, this isn't going to be easy one-handed while holding a camera, but I'll do my best. So this one here is the aerial. Come on. Let's do it one-handed. There we go. Okay, and then we have a bigger one here, which unclips like so. Come on, open up. You know you want to. You're going to have to in the end. And that should just pop out now. Come on. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. He says, come on. There we go. Okay, so that's disconnected. So the loom, or the extension rather, is mostly off, but can you see it's not completely free because we've got this red wire going off down there in that direction behind the dashboard. And if we follow that round, wait for it, inside the glove box. There we are. We can see the other end of that red wire there, and that is going into a fuse box, which is just up there, and that is where the old, by which I mean the aftermarket stereo, was being powered. So I may well need to do something in there in a moment, but first I want to get some sign of life out of the original stereo, because at this point I don't even know whether it works. Things are not going well. So, as you can see, I have reconnected the original stereo at the back there, but there is no sign of life whatsoever. The buttons aren't lighting up, and whatever I press, nothing happens. There are no noises. So, maybe this was replaced because it broke, rather than because the previous owner simply wanted a different stereo. That is, of course, a realistic possibility, but I'm not prepared to give up yet. There's a couple more things we can check. Now, I've said before on this channel that if something electrical stops working, the first thing I do is check the fuse. And if we have a look at the back of the stereo, can you see that little blue thing there? That is a little 15 amp fuse. So let's take that out and have a look. I've got some miniature pliers here. Wouldn't it be great if it's just a fuse, eh? Okay, right, let's have a look. Oh, it's very small, but yeah, I think that's okay. What do you think? Right, I've done some research and there's apparently another fuse here in the glove box that could be causing the problem. So I'm going to test that fuse with this circuit tester. Let's have a go. Right. It's a yellow 20 amp, by the way. And, well, I'm just going to double check, hang on. Because according to my circuit tester, that fuse has definitely blown. All right, now we're getting somewhere. So we need a new fuse, a yellow 20 amp. Now, I don't have any spare fuses in this spares or repair of Vauxhall Corsa, but hopefully I do in my daily driver, the mighty Primera. Let's have a look. So, if I do, they're going to be in this little tin which contains bulbs and fuses. Come on, let's be lucky. Oh yes, there's some fuses. And that yellow one is a 20 amp. Oh, that's too big. It's the right ampage, but it's physically too big to fit in the slot. Okay, well, maybe there's something in the £100 Nissan Micra. Yes, we've been lucky. I've managed to find a suitable fuse in the £100 Nissan Micra. We're now back under the glove box of the spares or repair Vauxhall Corsa, and I'm just going to pop in the new fuse into there like so. I will see if the stereo now works. Okay, I've plumbed it back in. This is the moment of truth, so cross your fingers and cross your toes. But look, I do feel increasingly optimistic because if you look around the circumference of this big button here, it is now lit up all around the edge, which it wasn't before, so that's encouraging. So what shall we press first? How about the settings button down here, and then we'll keep an eye on this screen up there. Are you ready? Yes, look at that. It's working. Okay, what else shall we do? Let's press button 1, shall we? Oh yeah, radio 1. Radio 2, so it's got some presets. BBC Kent, all right. How about this one down here, the eject CD button? It's whirring away. Okay, that's good. I'm going to do a few more tests and then come back to you in a moment. Okay, I've done some more tests and the stereo is working absolutely fine. It's pumping out music nice and loud, but I can't play any of those songs because they're copyrighted. Now, have a look down here again. I have temporarily removed the stereo just to finalise the wiring. We need that and we need that. These are original to the car. And as I mentioned earlier, we got these aftermarket wires, some of which I have removed. And I was going to try and remove the rest of them, but on closer inspection, this red wire here is spliced into the car's original harness, and there's also an aftermarket black wire that goes up there, and I've tried to find where it terminates. It's around here somewhere. Bottom line, I think it's too much of a faff to try and get those wires out, particularly when all I have to do is shove these down here out of the way and bring those forward a bit. We also need to deal with this black bracket, which sits like this and holds the stereo in place, and whoever removed it didn't take any care. They just yanked it out any old how, so it's bent to all kinds of jaunty angles. So I'm going to do a little bit of panel beating and see if I can make it fit again. Right. So there's the black bracket, straightened as best I can and put back into place. And now, of course, all we need to do is reconnect the wires and then slide the stereo back into the dashboard, which may or may not be a bit of a pain. We'll find out. Right, so the wires are connected, and I have done another quick test just to double check everything's working. And it should just be a case of slide the stereo back into the dashboard, but with that bracket being slightly distorted, who knows if it's going to put up a fight or not. Cross your fingers, yeah? Okay, so far. All right, come on now. You gonna work? Ooh, looking good. Well, I think we'll call that a win. So there you go. That's reinstalling the original stereo on my 2011 spares or repair Vauxhall Corsa D. Now, before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Car Spy TV. Do me a favour and click like on this video, and I'll see you next time. Farewell!